Hello and welcome back to our channel. Now, a few videos ago we showed you how we created our own foaming bath butter base from scratch using a variety of different ingredients. If you haven't yet seen that video, then I will link it up here because it is going to be beneficial for you to see that before you watch this, because today we are going to be using the foaming bath butter base to create a foaming sugar scrub that's going to exfoliate your skin in the shower whilst leaving you soft and loved, and it's going to bubble away whilst it does the job. Welcome back to our channel. My name's Anne, and along with my good friend Wayne, we run this YouTube channel, and we also run the Sussex Handmade Soap Company, which is a small bath and body business based in the southeast of the UK. So as I said, today is all about sugar scrubs, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to take the base that you have made and turn it into a beautiful foaming scrub with just a few additional ingredients. And those additional ingredients are some vegetable glycerin. Glycerin is a humectant, so it's going to draw moisture into your skin. Some poppy seed carrier oil, or indeed you can use whatever kind of carrier oil you want to. You might have a personal favourite. If you have, include that. It's absolutely fine. I'm using poppy seed oil today just because I really like the way that it feels on my skin. I like that it is non-comedogenic, so it doesn't cause acne or cause breakouts. And yeah, just an oil that I quite like. You will also need an essential oil or a fragrance oil or a blend of essential oils. Today we are using a blend, and we have included grapefruit, cedarwood and lemon because I wanted to create a nice citrusy foaming sugar scrub, because I just think that smell of citrus in the shower wakes you up in the morning, smells really good. Lovely scent combination. So yeah, we are using grapefruit, cedarwood and lemon, distilled lemon. It's important to use distilled essential oil when you're talking about lemon, because it is just a little bit better and it is not going to be phototoxic to your skin. So look for distilled rather than cold pressed lemon essential oil. We have got some preservative, and we're just going to be using a little bit. Our base is already preserved, but we just need to add a little bit extra to preserve the additional ingredients that we are adding. And we are also using a heck of a lot of sugar. That is an awful lot of sugar, but don't worry, we're not eating it, we're just washing in it. We have also got, of course, our base that we made the other day. And this is going to form the base of our product, although actually we're using more sugar than base. All of the ingredients and the amount we are using will be in the description for this video. So if you want to follow it along and make it yourself, do check the description and you will find exactly what you need there. One last thing I want to touch on is if you are planning making these scrubs to sell and you're in the UK or the EU, then in addition to having a CPSR for them or an assessment for them, you will most likely also find that you need to have a preservative efficiency test. Because the product contains water, there is water in the base, and because we have included a preservative, there does need to be additional testing to ensure that your preservative is working correctly. We have had that done on all of our sugar scrubs. It is quite a high additional cost, and it does increase the time frame from actually creating your product till being able to sell it for the first time, because the preservative efficiency test has to be done over a number of weeks. I would love to tell you who we had our preservative efficiency test done through, but honestly, off the top of my head, I cannot remember. Nope, it's gone. Right, let's move on and show you how to make this scrub today. And I do find when making the sugar scrub, it really does help to use a stand mixer. You could whisk by hand if you don't have a stand mixer available, but you probably won't get it quite as light and fluffy and airy as an actual stand mixer can. And it just makes it a heck of a lot easier on the arms and the hands when you've got something else doing the work for you. The first thing we're going to do is in here is just the base. So you can see just down in here, this is just the base bath and body butter. I still haven't worked out quite what to call it. The foaming bath butter base. That is what's in there. I'm going to turn it on now. Those of you who have seen a few of my videos will know that my stand mixer is not working 100% and doesn't have much of a difference between speeds 1 and 8. So it's probably going to go pretty quick. Warning, it's probably also going to be pretty noisy if you're wearing headphones, although I will try and limit the noise. during the edit. And you only need to give it a very quick whisk. And as you can see, the consistency has already changed to a nice light consistency there. So now we're going to add in our first ingredients. So into the bowl I am now weighing 50 grams of glycerin, and I'm confident that I can manage to weigh this without going over. If you're not confident, do weigh it into something else before adding it in. I just find it easier to do it this way because I don't end up dirtying loads of different cups. There we go, 50 grams of glycerin in there. I'm also going to add in 30 grams of poppy seed oil. 30 grams of poppy seed oil. Now we're going to pop it back onto the stand mixer and we're going to whiz it again until, oh, it's difficult getting it on, doing everything back to front. Oh, there we go. We're going to whiz it until the oil and the glycerin are nicely incorporated. So those are nicely incorporated now. What I'm going to do is take it off, and I am going to scrape down the sides as well, just to make sure there is no kind of unmixed material, or ingredients rather, around the side. But that looks pretty good to me. Everything seems nicely incorporated. Now I am adding in our Preservative Eco, and I often find it a little bit easier just to kind of tip the amount that I need into the lid when it's a small amount. So Preservative Eco going in, 7 grams of that. And we are also adding in 20 grams of scent. As I said, I'm using essential oils. I'm using 8 grams of the lemon, I'm using 8 grams of the grapefruit, and I am using 4 grams of the cedarwood. Cedarwood is a base note, so it is going to be that little bit deeper and hang around that little bit more than the other two. So I'm using slightly less because I don't want the cedarwood to overpower the other two scents. And now, you've guessed it, back to whizzing. So you can see now it is kind of changing into a little bit of a thicker consistency. It is not quite as meringue-like anymore. It's kind of gone more to a consistency of sort of stiff whipped cream. You can also see why my mixer annoys me, because it did splatter out a small amount of that essential oil. It's not going to be the greatest loss. It's just frustrating. I really should think about fixing it. And the final thing we need to do is just add in all of our sugar into the mix. And then it is going to be a case of mixing until that sugar is incorporated. And what I will do this time is probably scrape down the sides a couple of times and just make sure everything really is nicely mixed in. Right, is it going to spray the sugar out? Most probably. Get that off the whisk. And I'm going to take the spatula and go all around the sides of the bowl. Because I do find as well with my KitchenAid that it does sometimes leave little unmixed portions at the bottom and the sides. So I'm just sort of folding it round, making sure everything is nicely incorporated. Then I'm going to put it back on the mixer and I'm going to leave it for a good sort of 2 minutes or so of just really whizzing itself round, just to try and make it as light and airy as possible. At the minute it's quite a nice consistency, but I want to see if we can get it more airy, more light, more fluffy. So let's give it 2 minutes on the mixer. So this is the consistency that we are at after a couple of minutes of whisking. As you can see, it is quite firm. It's kind of like buttercream icing, but it has got quite a nice texture to it. I like the texture at least. What we need to do now is jar it up. I'm going to weigh my jar first, which I forgot to do in my last video, and then I will know how much we are filling them up with. So the jar weighs 224 grams. So now we're going to fill it up, weigh it again, and then deduct the 224. I am just using a spoon for filling them up. You can use other methods if you want to, so you could pipe it in if you wanted to. I'm just using a spoon today because I can't really be bothered to get a piping bag out. And I am trying to press it down into the base of the jar so that we don't end up with too many air bubbles. This is going to be a personal jar for me to use, so if it gets a bit messy, it doesn't really matter. If I was making these to sell, I would be being a lot more neat. Right, let's fill it up properly. I'm just going to give it a quick little tap down to try and get rid of some of those air bubbles that you can see there, or just not even air bubbles, is it? It's just where the mix hasn't quite come to the side. I'm going to hammer it down hard on the floor because I don't trust this table. And as you can see, it has now filled those gaps. We might have a little bit of extra space to fill up. To be honest, that's probably full enough. I tend to go a bit overboard when I'm filling things up and then I realise I've put too much in. Honestly, that's going to be fine. So, how much does it weigh now? 537 grams. So 537 take 224 is 313? 313, I'm going with that. So we have got 313 grams, if my maths is correct, in our jar, which I think is quite a nice amount. And I think it looks really nice like that. It's just got a pale yellow colour from the essential oils. If you wanted to, you could add mica to colour it, but I think because we're using essential oils today, I want to keep the final product just looking as natural and simple as possible. If I was using a fragrance oil, I possibly might add a mica. I do tend to add micas into our fragrance oil sugar scrubs, but this, I think it just looks pretty as it is. I'm going to take you upstairs, ooh, matron, and show you how it works, how it bubbles up in the bathroom, do it on my hands, show you the bubbling effect. Before I do that, I just want to say if you enjoy our channel, then please do consider buying us a coffee just here. Or if you want to actually get some bonus content, you can join Buy Me a Coffee as a member, or you can join us on Patreon as a member, because we are now creating bonus videos every week for members on Buy Me a Coffee and on Patreon. And prices start from £2.50 for the month's full access. So consider that if you do want some bonus content and if you want to help support our channel. Right, let's get this upstairs and show you how it works. So this is the amount that I'm using today. So kind of a 10 pence size mounded amount. I'm going to get our water on. Sorry for the noise that will ensue. That's the wrong word. Oh, that's too hot. And to begin with, I am just going to wet my hands, rub them together. And as with all my testers, I've probably taken too much. But I kind of forget that I'm only doing arms and hands and not whole body when I do little tests like that. As you can see, as you rub it on, it does go that nice kind of creamy consistency. And the more you wash, the more it bubbles. And one of the comments on our recent video where we showed the making of the base, there was a lady who did comment and say that she advises people that if they use a lot, it's more like a cream. I think that's what she said. And if they use a little, it's more bubbly. Words to that effect, I can't quite remember the exact comment, but she's 100% right, because when you use less, you get more bubbles. When you use more, you get more of a creamy consistency. But you can see how nice that is, all up my arms. You've got the little bit of foam there. It's cleaning me while it exfoliates. I can smell that gorgeous citrusy scent. And I just think it's a really lovely product, because it kind of does 2-in-1. And who doesn't love a 2-in-1? Right, let's wash it off, dry off, and go downstairs for a little sum up. So my skin now feels so soft and silky. I really do love our sugar scrubs, and they are one of the products. We make a lot of products. I can't feasibly use absolutely everything that we make, but I do use the sugar scrubs, and they are actually one of our top sellers as well at our events. And we do find we get a lot of repeat customers for them, both on the website and also when we do events. We get people coming up saying, oh, I bought your sugar scrub at X event. And they come back and they buy more. In fact, we had one lady at Christmas who came up to me and she said, I love your black plum and rhubarb sugar scrub. I want to buy every single one that you have here, which was pretty cool. Never happened before, but it was amazing. Unfortunately, I think I only had 5 with me that particular day, which I was most disappointed at because I had like another 30 at home, although I doubt she really would have bought all 30 of them. But you know, they are good sellers. That is the point I'm trying to get across. If you do like our channel, please do hit subscribe. It really does help the channel to grow. Also, leave us a like and leave us a comment. Oh, and hit the notification bell too, so you find out when we upload a new video. Thank you for watching today. Yeah, give us any comments you want to, any questions, feel free to ask them. We'll do our best to answer. And until next time, have a lovely day. Bye for now.